Hey guys, how do we keep it dirty off-road? Today we're talking fan clutch replacement for the E39. This is a very common problem with the E39s. The way you know if you have it is if the car sounds like a school bus during the hot months, where no matter what you do, all you hear is fan noise coming from that engine. We went down to Ryan's shop. Ryan owns E39 Source, and we had him help us out on how to change that fan clutch. It ended up being relatively simple. You just need some special tools and 5 minutes to do it. And it's done, so check it out.
Talking about the fan clutch now. We're going to go ahead and replace the fan blades and the fan clutch. Reason we want to do the blades, they're made of plastic. They get brittle. If the fan clutch sticks and then mates the engine RPM to the fan RPM, you run this thing up to 7,000 RPM, these fan blades are going to fly off and go anywhere and everywhere. I've seen them go through radiators, go through the hood. Nothing good comes of it. The fan blades aren't expensive. Let's do them at the same time as the clutch. Why do we need to replace the clutch? How do we know when the clutch needs to be replaced? Car sounds like a school bus, especially in warm weather. You rev it up, you hear a lot of air coming from the engine. It's because that fan clutch has seized and is no longer keeping the fan at a constant RPM, independent of engine RPM. It's mating the two RPMs. You don't want that. So you can kind of tell a good fan. I mean, I don't like the feel test. I like the school bus test. Drive the car on a warm day. Give the car a couple revs. Does the fan get really loud with RPMs? Now that's normal for a couple of seconds right after you turn the car on. The oil needs to distribute within the fan clutch itself. But if it's still doing it after you've been driving a bit, it's time to do this job. And one of the tools we need here is a fan clutch removal tool. And there's two sides of the wrench. I never remember which side I use, so I always try the wrong side first. It's very thin. I think this is a 34 or 32 millimeter wrench. I can check that.
Can you rent those from auto parts stores?
I don't think so. This is kind of a BMW specific tool. You're better off to buy the thing. It's like 20 bucks on eBay.
Oh, that's not bad.
It's not too bad at all. And it's got the little cut here for counter holding the bolts in the water pump. So the fan clutch installs on the water pump. We can see 3 of the 4 bolts here along the big nut. And we just need, I'm going to start with this end with the larger key cut in it. And we're going to counter hold 2 of the bolts. And just as I thought, we start with the wrong side of the tool. So we use that side, which fits perfectly. This can be used on several BMW models, so that's why there's 2 sides of the tool. And then this is reverse threaded. So righty loosey, lefty tighten on the fan clutch. And sometimes they break free easily, sometimes they put up a heck of a fight. That was easy. So we've already broken it free. And at this point, we can just spin it. Spin it to the right. And since we don't care about this old fan, we can just let it kind of fall off into the belly pan here. Like that. And then there's just enough room to snake it up here past the air boxes, or past the air intakes. And here's the old fan and fan clutch.
Wow. That was an easy removal.
Doesn't even have a sticker on it telling us when it was made. It's got a brand, 10-1-12. That might be a build date. This is Euro. These are crap parts. These are the cheapest parts you can put on these cars.
So this has been replaced before, right?
Yep, it's definitely been replaced before. It doesn't look that old. The fan, it's hard to tell if the fan's been replaced. I'm not sure what the, I don't know, there's a date. This fan was manufactured October of 2017. So this is only a 3-year-old fan.
So this is one of those things where save the fan and lose the clutch. Mm-hmm. All right. And it's how many bolts hold it in? 3, right?
3 Allens, and they only fit the one way. So with the clutch,
you can't put this backwards?
Well, you probably could, but compare it against the old one. You want to take the fan like this and make sure we've got the blades situated here the right way.
Oh, notice the difference too with the tag and everything.
Mm-hmm. So this is a Behr, which is the original service or the original parts supplier for BMW, B-E-H-R. Mm-hmm. And it's got a build date on there. So now we can either reuse those, or I'll just rob 3 from my parts drawer over here. That many Allen bolts on this car. So I'll just rob 3 of the cleaner ones from...
Your little parts bin, dude, of all these bolts.
There's a lot of organization time.
What do you realize the market value of just this car right here in E39 parts? You easily got a couple grand in here. You think? Easily. That stupid clips are $6, man. $6.
I always start these by hand because the gun is powerful enough to have them going in cross. The hardest part of this job is actually putting it back in.
Yeah, putting it back in doesn't look like it's going to be fun. They just need to be snug, right? Not super tight.
Yep, I go to 1 click on the gun, that's about 10 foot-pounds. Reinstallation. Obviously your nut end is going to go towards the water pump, and now we're going to feel like we're loosening it, since again this is reverse threaded. We slide it down in here, and then it's kind of a slow, tedious task trying to hold it up to the water pump output and blade by blade turning it until it bites. This takes anywhere from 30 seconds to 10 minutes, and your back hates leaning over the car like this. No luck. Oh wait, are we on?
Feels like you're on.
There we are. And then since it's reverse threaded, you don't have to tighten it anymore. Once the engine runs, it tightens itself
Really?
as it idles. That's why it's reverse threaded. If it were threaded normally, it would spin itself loose with the engine running.
So from right here, we just got to turn it on.
Yep, it's done.
That's it?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's easy.
Yeah, it's not bad.
You can tell you've done this a couple times.
I've done that many times. It's important to note that the new fan clutch might still sound like a school bus for about a day. The oil needs to be moved around in there and distributed, and probably within 100 miles or about a day, it'll sound normal again.
So overall, it's a very simple repair, right? We're going to put a link down in the description for that special tool that he used, as well as the parts that we replaced here, right? So we replaced the fan and the fan clutch itself. And like Ryan said, you need to let this run for a couple miles so that all the oil can distribute correctly, but we saw an instant difference. The car was so much quieter after this fix, so this is definitely a worthwhile fix for us to do. All right, guys, let us know if you have any questions down below. Don't forget to comment. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next one.